Have you ever walked past a house that just feels wrong? A place where the air gets a little colder and the silence is a little too loud. In the early 2000s, C-17 was home to a junior electrical engineer, his wife, and their young child. To their neighbors, they were the perfect picture of ordinary, quiet, routine, almost invisible. They kept to themselves, and life went on as usual. But one night, everything changed. A massive power outage plunged the entire colony into a total suffocating blackout. The streets were dark. The homes were silent. It was the kind of darkness where you can't even see your hand in front of your face. But then, around 2:40 in the morning, something strange happened. Several residents awake in the dead of night noticed a single eerie light. It was coming from C-17. The house was fully lit, a beacon in the otherwise pitch-black neighborhood. People just shrugged it off. He's an electrical engineer, they thought. He must have a generator. The next morning, the sun rose, but the family in C-17 didn't. When they didn't answer their door or phone, concern grew. Eventually, the police were called. They forced their way inside, and what they found was chilling. The entire family was gone, lifeless. There were no signs of a break-in, no struggle, no fire, and most unnervingly, there was no generator. The official report was quick and clean. A tragic accident. A carbon monoxide leak. The case was closed. But for the people who lived there, the story was far from over. That's when the real strangeness began. Years passed. The house remained empty, a silent monument to the family that once lived there. But those who worked the late shifts, the security guards and sanitation workers, started noticing things. Unsettling patterns that defied any logical explanation. They whispered among themselves, sharing stories they couldn't tell anyone else. They say if you go to C-17 after midnight, after the world has gone to sleep, and you knock on that dusty front door, something will knock back from the other side. A soft, hesitant tap, as if someone is waiting right there, in the darkness. They also talk about the windows. If you're brave enough to shine a flashlight through the grimy glass, the beam won't just illuminate the empty rooms. It will flicker, not like a faulty torch, but rhythmically, as if someone inside is signaling back, playing a game with the light. And then there's the technology glitch. People who linger too long near the property find their phone batteries draining at an impossible rate. Back in the day, old Nokia phones, famous for their week-long battery life, would supposedly die within minutes if you stood too close to the gate. It's as if the house itself is drawing power, hungry for any electrical charge it can find. But the most terrifying account comes from a security guard who decided he needed proof. One night, he stood outside C-17, his heart pounding. He tried to record a video, but his phone's camera app refused to open. It just wouldn't work. Frustrated, he switched to the voice recorder. That worked perfectly. He held the phone up, took a deep breath, and knocked on the door. He recorded the sound. On the audio file, you could clearly hear his knock echoing in the night. Then, there was a long, heavy pause, and just when he thought it was all in his head, a sound came through the recording that chilled him to the bone. It was the faint, whispered voice of a child, barely audible, asking a simple, haunting question in Hindi. The voice said, "Current aa gaya. Has the electricity come back?" The guard was terrified. He shared the audio file with a few friends on WhatsApp, wanting someone else to hear it, to validate what he'd captured. But here's the final bizarre twist. After being forwarded just twice, the audio file corrupted. It vanished, as if it was never meant to be shared. The proof was gone, leaving only the chilling memory of that little voice, forever waiting in the dark for the lights to turn back on. What do you think happened in C-17? Was it just a tragic accident, or is there something more lingering within those walls? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoy diving into mysteries like this, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button for more. Stay safe out there.